Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Podcast Room 303, episode 188. I'm your host, Jermaine Mendes, my co-host, Nicholas Morahan, and as always, we have with us the EPE. On today's episode, we'll be getting into the final divisional breakdown of the 2023 MLB season. That is none other than Knicks NL West. We'll also be discussing the World Baseball Classic and getting into a little PCP. Without further ado, how you doing this evening, Nick?
Tired, and my back's starting to hurt again. All this CrossFit.
That's all that. Is it deadlifting again?
I mean, I deadlifted the other day, and it hurts. So probably.
Damn. All that. I can do it again, boys. It's a young man's game, dude.
Yep.
How you doing this evening, Eric?
Same. Tired, man. I know I missed last week. Don't think I've recovered yet from that trip. I'm just old, man. I'm just getting old, and I feel old. I'm just tired. But I'm glad to be back today.
We didn't leave the trip early. That's why.
True. I stuck it out all the way to the end. That's true.
For those of you who don't know, Eric lost another one of his lives. I think he's down to 5. And he slept for 21 straight hours after our return trip from Japan. I ain't even mad. I'm more impressed than anything.
Is this after sleeping on the plane?
No.
I didn't get much sleep on the plane. It was a
Okay.
pretty cramped situation.
I just read my book the whole time, so I didn't sleep on the plane. But I also went to work the next day, and Eric was dead.
Eric did not go to work the next day. Let's just put it that way.
That's really funny.
So today's episode will be all lethargy and giggles, but let's just go ahead and get into the World Baseball Classic, right? So we're a little delayed on the World Baseball Classic, as for those of you who don't know, it finished last Tuesday, with the final being Team USA taking on Team Japan, or Japan for those of you non-Japanese speaking people. And the final hit at 3-2. Before we get into the final, though, do we actually have the bracket pulled up and the pool play?
Yeah, I can pull it up too. Go away! Fuck! Jesus Christ, go away! Every podcast, this dog gets mentioned. Fuck me.
Pays attention to him all day the minute he talks to friends.
100%, dude. It's either him honking this toy or just putting his big old... Get away from the trash can!
I just dropped it in the chat there for you, Jermaine.
All right, sounds good. So we had
dude.
4 pools that came out of in the World Baseball Classic. 4 teams. Actually, it was 5 teams each, wasn't it? Yeah, 5 teams each, 4 pools, 20 teams total. Pool A had Cuba coming out, winning the group with a 2-2 record. Italy came out in second place with a 2-2 record. Despite Nick and I cheering for the Netherlands, they came in at 3rd. Panama came in at 4th, and the Chinese Taipei came in at 5th. All teams, surprisingly, in this pool had 2-2 records, which is pretty shocking. Pool B, we had Japan coming in at undefeated, never lost. Then Australia came in at 3-1 with a 3-1 record. Korea 2-2, Czech Republic 1-3, and China failed to record a win. That entire team is probably now dead, seeing as the Chinese Communist Party is still in power. We had Pool C. Mexico came out on top, 3-1. USA came out as the second in the group at 3-1 as well. Only loss was its opening game to Mexico. Then you had Canada 2-2, Great Britain 1-3, and Colombia 1-3. And finally, Pool D, Venezuela came out without losing a game as well, 4-0. Puerto Rico was number 2, also advanced at 3-1. Only loss was obviously to Venezuela. Dominican Republic 2-2. Man, Nick's pick to win it all did not fare so well. And Israel 1-3 with Nicaragua 0-4. Thoughts on the pool play, boys?
I think you said it perfectly. I thought the Dominican team was going to do a lot better. I believe when we did our show, they were the favorites. So Vegas thought they were going to do a lot better. All right, so we covered this a lot in our World Cup show, right? We said, hey, any given year, any other year than this last year's World Cup, Morocco would have been an amazing story because all these nations had full camps, had full times to do stuff. If they had these full camps, then the Morocco story would be even that spectacular. Fresh off the heels of that World Cup and those discussions that we had, we now enter into a World Baseball Classic that's before – see what I mean? That's directly in the middle of spring training when a lot of these guys are getting ready. They haven't played baseball in a couple months. They've been sitting on their couches, metaphorically for couch sitting for athletes, right? They're still working out. But baseball is that sport that you can't just jump right back into it. And especially with the way guys are throwing these days, 95 plus. Some guys, Shohei and who is the other young pitcher? Sasaki, yeah. Sasaki on Japan throwing 100 miles per hour. I'm not ready to face that when I'm coming off the couch in early March. So I think we saw a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the World Cup is that you have these teams that should have been very good. We looked at the Dominicans, and it was a murderer's row of both pitchers and batters. But those guys aren't in midseason form. I'm sure you play this. I'm sure you play this tournament at the end of the year, and the Dominicans do 180 degrees from what they did. On paper, they had the best roster in the WBC. It's why Vegas made them the favorites. Paper don't win ball games. Paper wins a lot less ball games when the guys aren't ready. And you kind of got to see. We went to a quarterfinal game in Japan between Japan and Italy, right? Who thought that the Italians would be playing in the knockout stage? You know what I mean?
Mike Piazza did.
And every single one of them with a Mike Piazza mustache. So that's my takeaway. I would have been a little bit more mesmerized if the World Cup hadn't just happened, and I could point to that and go, oh, well, they're not in midseason form. It's kind of disappointing not seeing the baseball's best on the biggest stage.
Yeah, but they were in the group of death, though. The Dominican Republic played well. They just ran into a very good Venezuela team with lots of MLB talent. And Puerto Rico, bro. Puerto Rico got robbed last WBC. And they got robbed again this year because Edwin Diaz went out.
They did get robbed by Adam Jones. You're right. They did get robbed. That ball got robbed. It got brought back.
Team. So glad USA lost. I don't know. So are you advocating for the WBC to be at the end of Major League Baseball season?
First of all, okay, so here's my gripe with the WBC. I told you guys this when we were in Japan. The WBC played their first knockout game at the exact same time that their last group stage game was finishing up. I think the WBC needs to set themselves on a yearly basis, on some sort of basis, whether that be 3 years or 5 years or every 2 years, but stick to that so we know when it's going to be. And play it. I don't know. Play it at the end of the season, maybe.
So you're saying after Major League Baseball?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's not the hill.
I think it's great in March.
I mean, it gets you excited for baseball, that's for sure.
That's the way I look at it. I was like, yo, that's the opening salvo for the 2023 season. If that did not get you hyped for the baseball season, I don't know what's going to get you hyped for baseball, and then maybe baseball is on the outs in America then. But I think this is the best thing that could this coming baseball season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the things. My next thing that I was going to say was of the things to fix in the WBC. I'm not necessarily going to die on the hill of changing the time that it happens.
Yeah. Also, Japan's roster is probably better than Dominican Republic's roster. I think I might be willing to go 1 for 1. Maybe I'm biased after seeing them win it all and also seeing in Japan, but damn, they had a lot of good fucking baseball players on the team. They had a dude that didn't even start and like 5 MVPs in the Nippon Baseball League. So, like,
He should have won 6. He probably would have been starting.
Yeah, you bum. He's got 5 more than Shohei. Fucking loser. All right, so that wrapped up our pool. Cuba, Italy, Japan, Australia, Mexico, USA, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. Actually, I do have one final question before we move into the knockout rounds. Is this Mexico announcing that they're a legit contender in the WBC, or was this a fluke or one of those good years for them?
They've been what? All right, let's see. They were 3rd place this year, right?
Correct.
And they're
they don't play a 3rd place game, do they?
Right. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I would say they're better than Cuba.
And they're 5th in the world right now, world baseball ranking. I would say I would counter you and say it's about damn time.
So we're agreeing that finally Mexico.
I think that's it. I don't think it's a one and done. I don't think it's a surprise. I think it's like I would say for Mexican fans, it's like a finally, right? I mean, like in Mexico, right? You have soccer and you have baseball. Those are the sports that they play.
And murder.
Yeah, and cartel subjugation. But I don't understand the rules and scoring system of that. So
I haven't watched Death Race enough to get it, but
the governing body is a little too violent for me. So
they're like the opposite of the NCAA. You know what I mean? No rules.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up our pool play. The first quarterfinal, we had Australia taking on Cuba. The Pool A winner versus the Pool B runner-up. And Cuba, the Pool A winner, gets the job done against Australia, advances to the semifinal, awaiting the winner of our third quarterfinal on this, but I'm just going to go in this same side order. USA, Pool C runner-up, takes on Venezuela, the Pool D winner. In what was an absolute great baseball game. Venezuela had the U.S. on the ropes. U.S. came back. Venezuela took the lead again. And finally, what some knuckleheads are dubbing as Captain America, Trey Turner, hits a grandie on the grandest stage of them all to put USA up 2 runs, and that would be the ultimate scoreline. So USA advances to take on Cuba. In the semifinal, in the other 2 quarterfinals we had, as we alluded to earlier, we saw Japan, the Pool B winner, take on the Pool A runner-up in Italy. Japan won 9-3 and advanced to the semifinal. And in the final quarterfinal, we had the Pool C winner, which is Mexico, taking on the Pool D runner-up, Puerto Rico, after their devastating loss of their closer the game before. Mexico goes on to win 5-4, actually coming back from a 4-0 deficit to win that game. Setting up the semifinal matchup of Japan versus Mexico. Another great baseball game. Japan and Mexico went blow for blow, with Japan eking out a 1-win victory and advancing to the championship. And USA takes on Cuba, and boy, after the Bats woke up versus Venezuela, the Bats stayed hot, giving USA a 14-2 win over Pool A winner Cuba, setting up the showdown of USA versus Japan. In that matchup, USA jumped out to a 1-0 lead after a Trey Turner dinger. Then Japan's Murakami ties it with a solo shot. And then a few batters after that, they drive in a second run to have a 2-1 lead, go on to win with a final of 3-2. The USA, I believe, stranded. They had 9 hits and 2 runs, so they stranded 7. They were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Shohei Ohtani ultimately wins the MVP of the entire World Baseball Classic. He threw 9 and 2 quarter innings, had 2 wins, 1 save, 9 strikeouts, and as a hitter, he hit 400, 4 doubles, 1 home run, 9 RBIs. I mean that's just what I off the top of my head. Someone could probably look that up. But all right, thoughts on the knockout stages?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where we got some of our best baseball, right? And playoff. My favorite player of the WBC is someone that we have near and dear to our heart on podcast Room 303, and that's playoff Randy. So if you don't know,
some playoff Randy, bro.
If you don't know who I'm referring to, Mexican center fielder Randy Arozarena. I mean, he's been a revelation for the Rays. Originally Cuban, he defected to Mexico, pleaded to get on the Mexican national team, and finally got on it. It's a great story, and I think he's a great player for Mexico. It's really fun to watch. And I mean, you said it, right? We almost saw a USA-Mexico final, which, I know we got back from Japan very soon after that. I know it was sold out, but if there was a USA-Mexico World Baseball Classic final, I probably would have done a red eye to Miami to go watch that game. Is Jermaine frozen?
Did we lose him?
We might have. He's just sitting there ominously smiling. So yeah, so we almost had if they had got it. Is Jermaine you back, Jermaine?
Big bitch is back.
So what I was saying is we were one Japanese 9th inning rally away from a USA Mexico game, in which I would have red-eyed my ass down to Miami to catch.
I'm not even gonna lie. A USA Mexico game is so juicy for us, right? Specifically where we live, friends, etc. But man, Japan versus USA. I mean, first of all, I probably would have got up for Mexico just as much as this Japan game. But talk about the elite talent that was on the field, right? Sans the U.S. pitching staff, which I'm still very much upset about. There was so many good players on that goddamn field. It was insane.
Yeah, it's true. And then, of course, it had to come down to the final at bat. It had to be Shohei pitching for the save. It had to be against Mike Trout. How could you, there's a quote that there's a quote that is in one of my favorite baseball movies, Moneyball. And he says, "How can you not be romantic about baseball?" And from that Trey Turner home run to the Mexico comeback against Puerto Rico, sorry boys, to the Japan comeback over Mexico, to the Shohei Ohtani against Mike Trout. I mean, I have a video saved on my phone of that scene from Moneyball of where they slowed down the Venezuela pitcher and they took all the sound away from it. And in slow motion, all you hear is the crack of Trey Turner's bat. I mean, the Trey Turner grand slam. Listen, Trey Turner's played in 42 playoff games. The man's won a World Series. And he said the grand slam that he hit against Venezuela was the most important hit he's ever had, and it's also the loudest he's ever heard a stadium. My buddy who was there in the stands and has been to 20-something odd MLB stadiums, and at every World Series, All-Star game, he's been to all of them. He said that was the loudest he's ever heard a sports stadium in Miami for that.
The crowds. First
Goosebumps.
I regret nothing about going to Japan. I had an absolute blast. It's one of the best places I've ever visited. But the fucking crowds in Miami, which was what we were gonna plan our other trip around, was if we're not going to Japan, we're at least going to Miami.
Right.
One of them was international. One of them was stateside. The fucking crowds,
Eric wouldn't have survived Miami.
The
So
crowds. Yeah, he's tired now. He would have slept 48 hours after Miami. Bro.
He would have slept forever when he came back from Miami.
Is Eric dead? No, he's just asleep.
No, he's sleeping white. We got to wake him with a prince's kiss.
He's in his Odin sleep, bro. Yeah, he had to recharge, bro. So those crowds were wild. The Puerto Rico Dominican Republic matchup, outstanding red hot crowd. Dominican Republic versus Venezuela, Venezuela versus Puerto Rico, vice versa. Those crowds were unbelievable. And I think that's what added to the World Baseball Classic. I can guarantee there are a fuck ton of people who watched baseball and never been to a stadium as loud as those in Miami. And we're talking about people who 50 years of baseball watching.
Right.
This was something different. This was something special. This was amazing. It got my friends who don't even fucking care about baseball. They were like, I didn't know you like baseball. I was just like, the fuck? I didn't know you know what baseball was. They were watching this World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very cool to, at least for me, who this entire time we've had this podcast, and really the entire time you guys have known me, and I guarantee you years before that, I've been preaching the gospel of America's pastime. I love baseball. I'm going to opening day on Thursday for two teams I could give two flying fucks about, but I'll be in an MLB stadium on opening day. I've professed my love for opening day as one of the greatest days of the year, right? I wish I were in Colorado for it, but unfortunately I've never been. It's so great to see people, like you said, like our friend group, people around the office who have just come up to me and they're like, hey, how about that USA game last night? And I was like, you like baseball? And they're like, well, no, not really, but we heard news about it, and we heard you talking about it, and we decided to watch, the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, that's what's so funny. I feel like most of my friends watched it because I was talking about the World Baseball Classic.
Right.
And then they were watching it and got fucking sucked up in it. I had some boys that went to the Mexico-USA games in Arizona because they were in Phoenix for that. So I don't know if they went to the Mexico versus USA game. I think at least one of them did. But they went to a few of those Mexico games, and those were crazy packed.
Well, some of your buddies went to Great Britain, Canada, which was a shootout of a game.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Who would have guessed? Yeah, so I won't be there Thursday. Thursday is opening day. It's Rockies at Padres opening day on Thursday. I will not be at that game. I like to watch all the opening day games, so I don't like going to opening day. But I have been looking tickets, and my company gives me a discount for Padres tickets, and I'm thinking about going on Friday or Saturday to catch one of the Padres Rockies games. So,
dude, I got 8 other people in my company to take the day off on Thursday. It's a 1:05 game. I told my boss I'm not working. He was like, oh, we'll see about that. I was like, no, we won't. I'm going to quit if I need to. You can hire me back on Monday, but I'm going to be there for opening day. And I got 8 other people in my company to be like, yeah, we'll skip work with you to go drink beers and watch baseball. It's amazing. It's immaculate.
I actually
45 bucks. We're at the rail in left field.
I hate.
Second deck.
Oh, that's because the Nationals are suck. But that's a great seat. Bro.
One of my supervisors walked in today and he goes, how do you think the Nationals are going to do? See, I just love this around the office. That it's just there's. I'll finish this story first before I profess my love again. He said, how are the Nationals going to do? I said, Nationals ticket prices are looking pretty good this year. He goes, what does that mean? I was like, they're going to be awful. But it's good for me. Like somebody that loves baseball, like bring it on. There is a reason, right? You can say you like whatever sport you like, and that's fine because I know what my sport is doing. That it means they're not number one, right? They've had 2 labor strikes over the last 40 years that have crippled baseball. And when baseball builds itself back up, baseball manages to fuck itself in the own ass and break itself down again, right? Our leading hits leader, not in the Hall. Our leading home runs leader, not in the Hall. I could go on for days and days about baseball's faults. There is something ingrained in our American DNA that if you just give baseball a chance and you watch an exciting game, people are like, you know what? I really like baseball. I have never met anyone that says, I don't like watching an MLB game live.
It's a lot of fun.
Right.
I like going to them. So I will say that I have a bone to pick with your 8 friends since they only said that they liked drinking beer and going to watch baseball. Fuck them for not mentioning hot dogs.
That's true. Some of them are going to get hot dogs. I guess they don't know about me though. They better not disturb my routine because they were talking. They were talking. They're like, hey, when are we going to get to the park? I'm thinking like game starts at 1:05. Like we could probably get there like 12:30. It's like I will be in my seat at noon. I will not be watching. I will not be missing any of this. I will be in my seat. 2 beers, 1 hot dog. Maybe even 2 beers, 2 hot dogs, and I will be ready to go.
Since 1980, there have been 6 strikes. Since 1980, there have been 6 strikes in baseball. Not all of them have caused game losses, right? So I'll just read through them real quick. 1980 strike, 8 days of spring training, no games cost. 1981 strike, forced Major League Baseball to cancel 713 games during the season and lasted from June 12th all the way to August 9th. 1985 strike lasted 2 days from August 6th to the 7th and caused the league to cancel 25 games. 23 of them were later made up. Excuse me. In the 1990, it lasted 32 days, caused opening day to be pushed back by 1 week, but did not result in any games being lost. 1994-1995 strike was by far the longest in MLB history. That was 232 days. It forced the sport to cancel 948 games, including the 1994 postseason, which made MLB the first American professional sports league to lose an entire playoffs over labor struggles.
The Montreal Expos were winning the NL East at the time. The Montreal Expos did not make the playoffs because of the 1994. It's my favorite what if of all time. What if the Expos make the playoffs?
If the strike doesn't happen, the Expos make the playoffs and most likely are not the Washington Nationals.
Perhaps.
We'll never know. Hey, there's some timeline somewhere, but I'm also white in that timeline.
Right.
So,
am I Puerto Rican?
Sure.
Or do I get to pick what I am, like Eric? Hola, way.
And then 2021, you have the lockout, the short-term, long-term. Look, here's what's crazy. I'm pretty sure that the collective bargaining agreement has to get negotiated again this year because they keep kicking the can down the road. So watch out, Major League Baseball. All right, last bit of house cleaning. I know I rattled off the stats from memory, but we'll get them correct and efficient here. Shohei hit 435, not 400. with the slashes of 606 and 739. He had 4 doubles and a home run. I was correct on that. He did pitch 9 2/3 innings. I said he had 9 strikeouts. He had 11 strikeouts, and he had a 1.86 ERA. If you don't think sports is rigged, then you didn't see Shohei strike out Mike Trout at the end of this baseball classic. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about that. Let's go ahead and get into pop culture pick'em. Today's topic is top 5 time-wasting activities. For some reason, Eric thinks that he just gets to be first again since he missed last week. You go back to the end, big fella.
It's just following the rotation, bro.
No, the rotation is you go last now. No,
all right. I'll
just
change it.
fucking-
I
I'm
could
just
care
fucking
less
with
what
you.
I pick.
So
All
the
right.
order is Eric, Nick, and then myself. And without further ado, take it away, Eric.
So top 5 time wasting activities, obviously like what you do during your work, or just in general. With mine, I'm gonna say my number one thing I do that wastes time is watch or rewatch TV shows and movies that I've already seen multiple times.
That's a good one. I think I've seen Friends all the way through 3 times.
Oh, those are rookie numbers, dog. You need to get that up. I think I've seen it 3 times in the last 2 years.
Jesus Christ. Quit it.
I very much enjoy Friends, so that is. Let me see if I can't zoom a little bit on this bad boy.
All right, my first pick, I'm gonna go as a great Elon Musk said. Could this be a work meeting or could this be an email? I spend way too much time in work meetings that could be emails. And as a military-based company, some people have not forgotten the old ways.
So my number one pick is one of my top time wasting activities is planning how I'm going to use my time and then not following through on any of that.
I am the king of laying in bed next day activities. I am the Jeffrey Bezos of ideas that will happen in the morning.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, it happens all the time. All right, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do that. And then at work, I'm going to do this. And I don't do any of it, including the work thing. And
None of it.
I'm like, none of it got done. Like, what was the fucking point? And then,
all it takes is one minor inconvenience. I'm like, a plan's ruined.
oh, well, schedule's thrown off. I can't. There's no possible way. I can
wake
get
up,
back in.
wake up early, wake up late, wake up on time. That just ruins it.
And then next, I'll take listening to music.
That's a good one.
Like, I'll be sitting there and just be like, yeah, I'll put music on, and then 3 hours later, I'm still listening to music. So,
my second pick, I'm just going to say traffic. But the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, for those of you not familiar, the DMV is the king of traffic for no reason. There's no rhyme or reason. You'll just drive on a road and they'll just be stopped. Like, they'll just stop for no reason.
yeah. So I still think Atlanta has the worst traffic I've ever been in.
I've driven through Atlanta multiple times and I've never had it like the DMV, but
Atlanta is just unreal how bad that traffic is, bro. But, I mean, I'm not saying the DMV is any better or worse. That's just my
right.
anecdotal evidence. All right, Eric, take it away.
With my second pick, which probably should have been my first pick because it's literally the thing I do the most and it's the most counterproductive thing to my life, it's smoke weed. I smoke entirely way too much marijuana. Whatever. It is what it is, dude.
That's actually not what I thought he was going to pick.
Yeah, I didn't think that was what you were going to pick either.
Really? That's cool.
But yeah, good for you.
I thought you were going to say sleep.
Oh, no, but I enjoy that part. So,
This doesn't say top 5 time wasting activities you don't enjoy.
I don't know. I mean, I've been sleeping a lot lately because of the Japan thing. But other than
Lately. When did lately start? Last February? Get the fuck out of here, lately. All right. My bad. Go ahead.
And then with my third pick, I think this is something that you guys can relate to, is creating trades for my sports teams.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'll just sit there and
Fake
like go through
GMing?
yeah, I fake GM all day,
GMing,
bro.
dude? Oh, hell yeah, bro. I'm fake GMing right now, dude.
All right, this might be way too close to Eric's, and if it is, I will pick another one. But around this time of year specifically, the amount of mock drafts that I do specifically is incredible. And then I act like everyone is a revelation to the Carolina Panthers. I create 20 mock drafts, and none of them go even remotely the way that the Carolina Panthers draft. I'm like, we could draft all left tackles. And Pro Football Focus is like, A+ grade. I'm like, I know my team so well.
Dude, mock drafts is a wormhole.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then you're watching the draft and you're invested in the draft. Then you're like, oh, that tight end from Northern Iowa is still on the board. Why don't we take him?
I'm gonna follow your mock draft up with secondary market shopping.
Okay.
So your Facebook Marketplace, your OfferUp, your Craigslist, your eBay, your Mercari. I mean, you name it, I'm on there trying to find some sort of fucking deal. My most recent deal purchase that I purchased, and it was amazing. I added surround sound to my living room, and I got 2 speakers that normally cost $450 after taxes and fees, brand new. I got these brand new for $250.
That's a deal,
the
baby.
Surround sound is fucking banging, bro. So I spend way too much time looking at J's, looking at MacBooks, looking at clothing, looking at action figures, comic books, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, your mom's pussy, and sometimes I don't even pull the trigger. Very next thing, top 5 time-wasting activities. Let's see. You just put me down for being on my phone.
Just phone in general.
Just phone, period. Like, it doesn't matter. Despite how productive you can be on a cell phone, a lot of the things I do is not productive at all. I regularly wrestle with the idea of not having a smartphone and just going back to an old school flip phone, like a Sidekick. You know how wild it would be if you just saw me in public pull out a Sidekick?
If you just whipped out a Sidekick, that'd be dope.
Yeah. I was like, go, Robin, go. Yeah. But I don't know, dude. I think the phone is a giant waste of time. I wish there was a way for me to reel it in, but that ship has sailed. On to you, though, Nick.
Again, if this is too close to yours, please correct me and I'll pick a new one. I waste so much time shitting but not shitting. I could probably poop in 5 minutes if needed. I could probably poop in 2 minutes if needed. I don't need to spend 45 minutes with my legs falling asleep on the toilet, and yet here I am.
See, you can poop in 2 minutes, but it's not needed.
Right. I can poop in 2 minutes, but that doesn't give me relaxation. That doesn't give me.
All right, on to you, Eric. I agree. That one I do as well, bro. A lot of these, I mean, shit, all 15, except smoking weed, but all 15 is definitely on my list.
So I know it's pretty similar to yours, but I'm going to be very specific with what I say. Here, it involves my phone, but just conspiracy rabbit holes. I'm just all day, every day, just finding
Yeah.
the new one and going deep down into it.
All right, so we just might as well not have done this line. Each one of us was our phone.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was different. It was different iterations.
It's all the same thing that all of us do. It's all the same
Phone.
thing. Yeah, it's all the same thing. All right.
And I guess my last one.
It
this
started
is
off
tough.
super easy, and now I'm like scraping.
Dang, my list got smashed pretty quick, dude. I guess I'm gonna have to steal one that everybody would probably say, but I'm gonna say it no because I don't even do it that much.
Was that a humble brag you were about to hit us with?
I was gonna say something, but it's not fair to the people who actually do this activity, so I'll let it slide. I think daydreaming. I just spend a lot of time daydreaming. Like, what if I won a lottery? What would I do? And then I come up with all these crazy scenarios in my head. Like, I would disappear for a year. All my friends would get a letter in the mail a year later with fucking coordinates. And if you show up, you're on the squad. If not, you miss out on the opportunity of your life. Just shit like that.
Man, that would be intriguing. Would you show up, Jermaine?
Absolutely. If someone sent me a postcard with coordinates,
Bro,
are you fucking?
that's
Are you
almost
nuts?
that's almost an auto send, right?
Are you not, bro?
No, I'm coming. I'm just like, bro. Like, I don't think Eric has ever raised me that big in my life. Like, if
Bro.
just a postcard showed up from Eric that was like, "Yo, like."
No, you
probably have
don't
to-
know who it's from.
Oh, it just says coordinates.
Yeah.
Dude, if any one of my friends says no, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
I would honestly.
You're
I would
not an adventurer, bro. You have not played enough video games. The minute I see that postcard-
That's what I'm saying, dude. If you send me to my address a postcard, you know me, or you're trying to kill me. Either way, I like a good story.
Either way, I got two words for you: sleeper hold.
Sleeper hold.
No
That's-
chance. Am I
a good
not
one.
going? There's no chance I'm not going, bro.
Dude, I've actually thought this scenario out so deep, it's crazy.
I could have knocked up a girl. She could be going into labor when that on the date and time that card is telling me to go to these coordinates, and I was like, you don't understand. I was like, you obviously don't understand me. If this is what's gonna get you upset, I can't do anything in this labor and delivery room. There ain't a goddamn thing I could do, and there sure as fuck ain't no reason you actually want me there because I can't do a goddamn thing.
Right.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
So this kind of reminds me of a deal I have in place with one of my friends, and both of you know them, and they'll know this as soon as they listen to this story.
Fuck you.
I'm not going to name names. And this person and I went out to the bar, and this person jumped on a pretty massive grenade for me, and had to spend a lot of their time with this grenade.
How massive we talking? We talking like Yokozuna 1992 WrestleMania massive, or
I'm talking like on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is okay, I don't feel that bad for you, and 10 is like, this man needs relief right now. It had to have been like a 7 or an 8.
God damn, that's pretty high up there.
So I told this person, I said, "Hey, I appreciate what you did. At any time and place of your choosing, you get to pull the card, and you get to say, I'm cashing it in." And no matter what happens, I gotta jump on that grenade for him. Right?
So if you're married, you still got to jump on the grenade.
Listen, hey babe. Hey babe, I don't have time to explain, but I'm very, very sorry for what I have to do.
The red phone rang.
Duty calls, babe.
The red phone rang.
I love that story because it goes back to that. We're in the Instagram group chat, and I sent that video, and I sent it to some coworkers and some other homies, and so it's a video of this dude trying to get out of water, and there's a crocodile coming, and his friend literally jumps and the people's elbows the crocodile to save his friend. I asked you guys what you do. Obviously, you guys are all joking or whatever, but almost every girl said that bitch is gonna die, and almost every guy, within reason, was like, I'm gonna at least try to save the homie. And that story right there, Dude, that's male friendship. That's just male friendship at its finest.
Listen to me right now. If you don't jump on that crocodile, I don't want to know you as a man of science. Crocodiles have some of the strongest bite force in nature, but they cannot open their jaws if you have their jaws shut. I'm jumping in the water. I'm clamping that mug, and we going.
Also, Eric didn't do that justice. He hit a fucking Macho Man's people's elbow.
Right.
Not people's elbow. Macho Man top rope elbow drop.
Flying.
He stands up on the top, arms spread like he's like Jack's bitch in the Titanic. I could fly, and then hit the elbow drop, bro. Like, that's a totally different elbow drop, my guy. Get your shit together.
I'm just saying that's like male friendship at its finest. Like, you would never see on the other side that shit being done.
Hell no. Women suck when it comes to other women. They are fucking assholes to each other. It is literally Darwinism. Whenever you see women interact with each other, it's Darwinism. Each one of them wants to think that they are the shinier object in the room at all times, and it's fucking hysterical to see. Dudes are like, I am what I am. Fly, young king. You know what I mean? Like, it's unreal. But let's not get into that. Let's try to speed this up because we still got a division breakdown.
It's the Family Guy thing, right? It's dudes. We know how to be friends. All right, my fifth and final one: time wasting tasks. Break between tasks. Send an email at work. That's a 10-minute break. You know. Oh, I filled out this report. I'm going to go walk around outside. And it's always disproportionate, right? Oh, paid my bills? Let's play 3 hours of video games to reward myself.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be my last one. My last one is video games. There is nothing productive about playing video games. Not a goddamn fucking thing. Not 60 hours of Harry Potter. Not 100 hours of Pokemon. There's nothing productive that comes out of video games. And yet, for some reason, I have every goddamn console. I'm watching gameplay trailers for every goddamn new game that's coming out. I'm plotting and scheming what games I'm going to buy and play and stories I'm going to immerse myself into. And it has zero value added. I could literally go learn entire new skills with the power of the internet. And for some fucking reason, I'm like, nah, I got to take my player to 99 overall and lead the Bulls to 18 ships. You know what I mean? Video games are fucking pointless, and they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is not me saying I'm stopping video games.
Right.
This is just me being honest very much with what it is. It's so fucking crazy. I play so many video games that literally the option above video games, my phone, it's nothing but Sudoku and generic games that don't have any title. It's just like Ball Match and Puzzle Arrow 1.
You
and
do
like,
love a good ball match.
and fucking like just random fucking things. I have Tetris, Solitaire, like on my phone. That's how much games I play, and it adds zero fucking value. Thank God Sudoku at least keeps the mind sharp. Jesus. All right, Eric, read the final list, and then let's keep it pushing.
All right, so I had the first pick. Topic was top 5 time-wasting activities. I had rewatched TV shows and movies, smoke weed, fake GMing, conspiracy rabbit holes, and daydreaming. Nick had work meeting that could be emails, sitting in traffic, mock drafts, shitting but not shitting, toilet phone scrolling, break between tasks. Jermaine had planning on how to use my time, listening to music, secondary market shopping, phone period, video games.
Victor games.
Yeah, I think that those are all great lists. Those are probably. I bet you like we just hit like 87.36% of all men's top time wasting activities right there.
If there's any psychologists listening to this podcast, can you text each of us and tell us what this means about me, my inner workings, why I waste so much time on those 5 things? I'd really like a psychoanalysis on my 5 time wasting tests.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so thank you for joining us for Pop Culture Pick'em, top 5 time wasting activities. Let's go ahead and get into our MLB divisional breakdown. Today's fucking division will be the NL West. Do 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 do. I'm too zoomed in. Do 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 do. All right, we're ready, boys.
All right, so NL West, right? Last year, always a topic of controversy. Those goddamn Dodgers won the division, 111 wins. The Padres finished second. They qualified for a wild card with 89 wins. The Giants finished exactly 500, 81 and 81. The Diamondbacks finished fourth. They had 74 wins, and your Colorado Rockies had 68. Colorado still does not understand how to win or how to lose 100 games in a year. I believe the Rockies were on pace last year for the worst road record in MLB history, but they managed to turn it around.
It was a running joke for like the first 3.5 months of the Major League Baseball season.
It was. So we like to talk about luck. Obviously, it's gone into 5 division previews before this. We will continue this in the AL West. The Dodgers, I said they won the division, 111 wins. They were actually unlucky last year, 3 wins below the luck factor. That gives them a win-loss of 114. The San Diego Padres last year, 89 wins, also unlucky. They were 4 below. The San Francisco Giants were lucky, 81 wins. They were lucky. They should have finished below 4 games below 500 with 77. Arizona, actually one of the unluckiest teams. They were actually the unluckiest team in baseball. They finished 9 wins below their luck factor.
Foreshadowing, hammer the over.
Which means they should have finished with 83 wins on the year. Colorado Rockies at the end of the division, as much as I would love to say they were lucky or unlucky, they were pretty much average. They were unlucky by 1 win, which would put them at 69. We now move into the offseason. Offseason is very critical to this wins calculation that we did. The Los Angeles Dodgers in the offseason, division winners, lost 2 of their former players to the Boston Red Sox, Chris Martin and Justin Turner. Justin Turner obviously got hit with a ball in the face. We don't know how much time he's going to miss. Cody Bellinger went to the Cubs. Tyler Anderson went to the Angels, and Trey Turner went to the Phillies. They turned this around. They signed JD Martinez from Boston, and they signed Noah Syndergaard from the Angels. All told, the Los Angeles Dodgers are down 13 wins in the offseason. That is by far the largest wins drop this year. There is no team, Jermaine, that has more than 6 wins lost other than the Dodgers. And the Dodgers have lost 13.
Really? Everyone else didn't lose 6 wins?
So the only other team was the Atlanta Braves, and they lost 5.8 WAR over the offseason. There is no team closer to the Dodgers.
Damn. I mean, I knew they had, I was just named it pre-show, the departures that they had. So
now we'll talk about it once we get into the division preview, but I would not be surprised if there's not some clever thing the Dodgers are trying to pull right now. Second place last year, the San Diego Padres lost Will Myers to the Reds and Drixon Profar to the Rockies. They, however, did add Xander Bogaerts from Boston, Michael Wacha from Boston, and Matt Carpenter from the Yankees. Those are 3 huge signings. I don't know how good Matt Carpenter can be, but all told, the San Diego Padres added the reverse of the Dodgers. They added 12 wins. An 89-win ball club with the talent that the Padres had added 12 wins, Jermaine.
What's crazy is I can't imagine that this win equation is factoring in a full season from Fernando Tatis.
Right. Yeah.
Like that should speak to even more volumes about what the how good the Padres offseason was.
So the win equation does factor in a full season from Fernando Tatis because he was injured.
It does factor that in?
3.5 WAR, yeah, that Fernando Tatis is going to give him.
Oh, so you're a big old liar. You made my last point irrelevant. All right,
Yep.
appreciate you.
All right, the San Francisco Giants, third in the division. They lost Kurt Casale to the Reds, Carlos Rodon to the Yankees, and Brandon Belt to the Toronto Blue Jays. They added Mitch Haniger from the Mariners and Ross Stripling from Toronto. All told, the Giants kind of on their downswing. They basically added or lost nothing, about 0.6 WAR that they added in the offseason. The Arizona Diamondbacks, like I said, one of the most unlucky teams. They only had one signing, really not value signing, but of significance this year. They actually had a trade in which they traded Dalton Varsho to the Toronto Blue Jays. They got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. From the Blue Jays and a handful of prospects. That being said, the Diamondbacks are, again, around. They didn't really add. They didn't really lose a lot in free agency. They added about 0.5 WAR to their roster. And the final team, the Colorado Rockies, they lost Carlos Estevez to the Angels and Connor Joe to the Pirates. They signed Brad Hand from Philadelphia, and Drickson Profar stayed in the division, coming over from the San Diego Padres. That being said, Colorado, who before the Brad Hand and Drickson Profar trade had signed 2 players in the offseason, both of them to minor league contracts, the Rockies added 1.5 wins this offseason, 1.5 WAR this offseason.
Man, the Rockies. Hey, at least you guys are still paying Nolan Arenado.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, DraftKings is failed us again. They do not have the NL West division winning odds on there. So I'm now pulling up some janky ass thing called Vegas Insider.
So I went through the DraftKings and they let us down on the division, but I think every other stat that we need is in DraftKings, so we should be able to maneuver that pretty easily. It's just not in alphabetical order anymore, which is mad frustrating, but whatever.
Yeah. So, but the National League West opening odds, right? So, we're gonna start with division winner Nick, and so the odds are Dodgers minus 140, Padres plus 140, Giants plus 1,200, Diamondbacks plus 4,000, and Colorado Rockies plus 15,000.
Yeah, I love the Rockies, but I really think the value comes in here in San Diego.
Oh, absolutely. Give me Padres division winner at plus 140. I love what they did this offseason, and I love that they did it in a year that the Dodgers lost as many pieces as they did. So, yeah, I'm hammering the Padres to win this division. It's purely because it's plus money. The Dodgers are still going to be formidable. They still got tons of talent. Like, that's not an issue. But the injury to Gavin Lux, all the departures that Nick just rattled off, just gives me some pause. I assume you're taking San Diego to win as well, Nick?
Correct. Yeah. Also, keep in mind Juan Soto played 2 months for this Dodgers or this Padres ball club. Hit at most 240, right? 7 home runs in 2 months, right?
He did not play well, yeah.
Did not play well, right? You get Fernando Tatis back. I don't necessarily know how long Fernando Tatis will be on this ball club.
Trade him for Shohei.
I think he is going to be a very, very dangleable item at the trade deadline for the Padres to add elite pitching or elite bullpen or maybe another bat, unless he completely blows it out of the water, and then they'll be glad to have it.
You can trade him for elite pitching and an elite bat.
True.
Go ahead.
They brought in was it Xander as his replacement while he's out, right?
Xander Bogaerts, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because he suspended the first
80 or whatever games.
No, he served some of the suspension last season.
I believe he suspended the first 50 games of the year.
Yeah.
whatever. He's not there for his team when they need him, and they brought in another guy that probably won't fail a drug screen.
Yeah, I love how you put probably.
Just, you never know.
All right, so next let's get into regular season win totals. According to our little handy-dandy spreadsheet, Arizona here is at 74.5 for the over-under. I'm going to take the over.
74, unluckiest team in baseball, and they won 74 games last year. Yeah, I'm going to take – and they had real no change there. I think their young players are getting better. Yeah, I would hammer this over. Now, do I think it's going to be some crazy division winner with the Diamondbacks? No, but I don't think the Diamondbacks are their young kids got better. They didn't really lose anybody, and they were an unlucky team last year. Give me a regression to the mean, like positively. Yeah, hammer the over.
Yeah, so if you give me the over for Arizona, that's clearly in my eyes. I'm going to have them finishing third in the division, and finishing third is going to put them fringe wild card contention. Should some other teams underachieve, underperform, or be unlucky like the Diamondbacks were last year, we could very well be talking about a sneak playoff bid for them. Next team we have is the Colorado Rockies at 65.5. What a fucking great line. Nick loves to sit here and rant all the time about how they never lose 100 games. Is this the year? I cannot answer that. I'll let you go first, Nick. I don't know what side to sit on this line.
I want the over. I think it's going to be another disappointing Rockies year, right? It's you know, they have old filler players, right? They signed Profar, they signed Moustakas, they have, you know, Ryan McMahon is there. They lost Brendan Rodgers to a shoulder injury. He contributed damn near 5 wins last year above replacement. I don't think they lose. What's that? 97 games. I think the Rockies got better. I just don't think the Rockies are good.
So the under is minus 120 right now.
Right. Listen, if you take anything from me, and I'm probably going to be wrong because this is the first time I'm actually putting it on the record. The Rockies don't lose 100 games. They stay in that like 68 to 74 win zone.
God, I think this line is perfect. Like, gun to my head, I would have been like, yeah, I think they win 65 games. And now I'm like, fuck. I got to pick a side. I'm going to go ahead and hit the under at minus 120. Just purely because I want to root for them to hit 100 losses this year. Because I just want to see Nick explode. And I think that'd be pretty funny to watch. So I'm rooting for the under. Give me that under minus 120. And we'll move on to Nick's actual favorite team, the team he covers more and spends more energy talking about, the Los Angeles Dodgers, whose over-under is set at 95.5. And again, this is a phenomenal line.
Yeah, I think the 95.5 is a great line. I think, and I might be remiss when I say this. Who's going to beat the Dodgers other than the Padres in this division? Still, with the talent they have, I don't think the Diamondbacks, Giants, or Rockies can beat them. Then you look around the NL, right? I don't think like the Cubs are not going to beat the Dodgers. The Brewers, the Pirates, the Reds are not going to beat the Dodgers. The Nats and the Marlins are not going to beat the Dodgers. The Phillies might be able to beat the Dodgers, right? So we're talking about 5 teams across the NL who they play the majority of their games against that can beat the Dodgers. I'm taking the over on this.
So you're talking about What do you mean can beat them? Because we see the Dodgers lose games all the time to teams they shouldn't lose to.
Yeah, they won 114 games last year, though.
Man, I could see them hitting 95 wins. That's why I fucking hate this line.
Or sorry. 111 wins last year. And yeah, they lost 13 wins. That's fine. But even if you lose 13 wins off 111, you're still winning 98 games.
I don't see them winning 98 games. But I'm not fading this Dodgers team. They still have Mookie Betts. They still have wow, I actually blanked on a lot of their other players, but still. I know they have a very good roster. I'll take the over at even money is crazy to me, so I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, in this case, right, we're going to talk about it like we talked about other stuff in the past. If you think a line in the Colorado line is perfect, if you think over under 65.5 wins is perfect for Colorado, if they're going to give you the over at plus money, take plus money. It would be a debate if they gave you a perfect line and then each one of them was minus 110. Then you would have to be like, then you would actually have to apply some thought to it. But in this, if the Dodgers over, you could see the Dodgers winning 96 games.
Easily, yeah.
Easily. Sure. So take the over.
Yeah. Also, chase the juice. Like if you're on the fence, chase the juice.
Right.
Like what you're gonna be more upset missing out on over even money than hitting under minus 120. Like that's a matter of fact.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I knew that I should have went with the over. So we'll get into the San Diego Padres. I don't even need to see the lines. Hammer the over. The line is set at 93.5. I think that's far too low for this baseball team. And maybe Vegas knows something I have no fucking clue about. But 93.5 with a very aggressive ownership, with very aggressive general manager right now. You know, Nick already talked about the Fernando Tatis what if situation. Yeah, I'm taking over, and the over is only minus 105 right now.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you completely as we are doing on these divisional previews. Vegas is modeling how Vegas models. We've expected so much of this Padres team the last 3 years, right? Ever since they went to those Friar jerseys, we've expected so much of them, and they haven't delivered, right? Through injuries, through poor performance, through suspensions, they haven't really been able to deliver on that Padres team that we knew they could be until when? Last year in the playoffs, right? They got better. They have a better team. I want the over on this. 94 games the Padres can win. I mean, yeah, I'll take the Padres winning 94 games.
I have our model has them winning 107 this year.
I'm more confident in the Padres hitting 94 games than I am the Dodgers hitting 96.
I agree with you on that.
So just to put into context, I had created this spreadsheet a while back, and the line for the Dodgers hasn't moved. It's been at 95.5, but over was minus 120. Today it's even money. The Padres opened at 92.5. Now they're at 93.5. The over's at minus 105 for 93.5, and the over at 92.5 was minus 120. So the way it's trending, I'd take the over.
I'm so confident in this that if I could find Padres 96.5, I would still take that. Like, and if it gives me more juice, if I can get 96.5 plus 125, yeah, I'd be all over that. I am fairly confident that the Padres are a 3-digit win team.
Here's how confident I am in this.
So
I would probably pick the Padres right now to have the NL's best record.
So just to give you guys a little here, they have on DraftKings, they have what they call the regular season wins bands. 91 to 96 wins is plus 260 for the Padres. 97 to 102 is plus 360, and 103 or more is plus 550. So whatever level you think that team is, the more you believe in them, the higher the better the juice is for you. And I think that's a great bet.
Yo, plus 550 for over 102 wins, Nick.
That's
103 or more.
crazy.
103 or more.
Yeah,
I might take
over
that.
102, but
Yeah.
I might take that. Plus 550. Holy
man.
cow.
Those bands is where the money is, bro. That is crazy. I love that. All right, so last team rounding out the regular season over-unders, San Francisco 81.5. Give me the under. I feel incredibly confident that the San Francisco Giants max out as an 80-win team. Max. And so I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to come up with some opinion to say, well, no, they have enough. No, they're not there, right? The Giants making the playoffs and almost getting to the World Series is the equivalent of the Marlins winning a World Series in the middle of a rebuild. We have not seen the bottom to this Giants team yet, and it's not another 500 season.
I'll tell you what, and they missed out on every free agent they went after.
Right. And if it is another 500 season, I'm going to scream. But I'm going to take the under for right now.
All right, so, man, this is a very interesting next category. So the very next category we have is to make the playoffs. Where in the world to make the playoffs? There we go. So very first team that pops up, San Francisco Giants to make the playoffs. Yes is plus 180. No is minus 210. I'm personally going to take no at minus 210.
That's Giants to make the playoffs?
Giants, correct.
No chance.
All right. Very next team we have is San Diego Padres. Yes at minus 400. No plus 330. I'll take yes minus 400.
Yeah, I mean, there's no money in here. It's a yes, and there's no money.
Yeah. I won't be betting the minus 400, but if you could parlay that somewhere, definitely recommend that. Very next team that we have is the Colorado Rockies. To make the playoffs, yes is plus 2,500. No is minus 10,000. I'll take the no at minus 10,000.
Yeah. Listen, I am going to personally, this is not a recommendation. This is not asking anyone at Room 303 or the Roomies to do this. I will personally be putting on a bet of Rockies to make the playoffs. That is strictly just to give me hope, right? that is just solely to give me hope. The Rockies will not make the playoffs this year.
At plus 2,500. I mean, what? Why not?
Plus
Why not?
2,500. I'm gonna put a pizza on it. I'm gonna put $10, a large 2-topping pizza on the Colorado Rockies making the playoffs, and then I'm gonna throw my money away by June, and it'll be okay.
He's not confident enough to put a JC special on it. Okay.
No.
Anyways, very next team we have is the Arizona Diamondbacks. The yes line at plus 550 is fascinating, and the no line at minus 750 is what it is.
It's an intriguing line, right? We've talked to you guys about, does Arizona have it in the tank? They are my one of two teams that are on the outside looking in. Right. I think it's the Diamondbacks and the Cubs who are on the outside looking in. I don't think they can catch Philly right now. I don't think it's possible, unfortunately.
Philly just seems like they're not going to be lucky this year. I think it might be it's one of two things. It's Eric now being a Philly fan or Reese Hoskins going down.
Yeah.
You take your pick. That's
a big blow.
I'm going to hammer. Well, maybe I'm not going to hammer. I'm going to say no minus 750. That is the very safe choice. But I also, behind the scenes, might put $10 on the Diamondbacks to make the playoffs at plus 550.
I'm also saying no, but I won't. I'm not going to do the Jermaine pick. I think it's no.
So the last team we have is Los Angeles Dodgers to make the playoffs. Yes, minus 600. No, plus 475. Hammer the yes. It's for sure gonna happen. All right, and then next little bit of bets we're gonna get into is the division straight trifecta. And let me just find the NL West lines. Oh, is NL West not here?
Yeah, it is. I just looked at it earlier. Let me
There
pull
it
it
is.
up.
All right, so the straight trifecta, Nick. What order do you have them finishing in?
I have Padres, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, I believe. Yeah, Padres, Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
So Padres, Dodgers, Diamondbacks is the fifth best odds at plus 550. I'm actually going to take the same thing. Diamondbacks are going to be a kind of a little bit of an exciting team to watch this year. And Eric has Padres, Dodgers. Giants. That's the second best at plus 250. Plus 250. All right, so next things we're going to get into is division finishing order and division finishing position. So we will start with the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco Giants are currently the odds-on favorite to finish third at plus 115. Fourth is plus 300. Second is plus 320. First is plus 950. And fifth is plus 1,500. If the Rockies weren't in this division, that fifth place bet would be kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take fourth here at plus 300, Eric.
Oh man, jeez, I got something in my eye. It's probably all that. It's probably just dog poo in my eye. I'm also going to take fourth. I think Jermaine and I are largely going to agree with ourselves or with each other on this. The Giants to finish fourth in this division. It's a great analysis. If the Colorado Rockies were not in this division, they would finish fifth.
All right, very next team we have the San Diego Padres. See, this is what we talk about with fucking Vegas juice when it comes to futures. If you take anything away from us besides fading us, is you can find the hidden juice built into their odds if you're paying attention to these lines, right? The Dodgers over-under win total is set for 95.5. If we're going just based on projections, they are the odds-on favorite to finish first. You would think. The San Diego Padres currently, their best odds is to finish first at plus 120. Second is plus 145. Third is plus 450. Fourth is plus 1,600. And fifth is plus 10,000. Give me finish first at plus 120. It doesn't even match San Diego as the division winner. This is what we're talking about when we talk about Vegas and their lines. You can pick division winner for the Padres, and it's plus 140. Finishing first in the division is plus 120. Ladies and gentlemen, find the value in these lines, and you'll know how to bet it.
Yeah, listen to the man. Yep.
Very next team we have is the Colorado Rockies. They're the odds-on favorite to finish fifth at minus 320, fourth plus 340, third plus 1,600, second plus 5,000, first plus 18,000. I'll take fifth at minus 320. That the difference between fifth and fourth is so crazy, dude.
Is 680 points. Yeah.
It's so crazy, dude. All right. I think Nick and I both agree on Colorado last, so we'll keep it pushing to the very next team. Arizona Diamondbacks. They're the odds-on favorite to finish fourth at minus 115, third plus 300, fifth plus 340, second plus 1,100, and first plus 4,500. Do not need to entertain anything past the odds-on favorite. Give me fourth at minus 115. And then ultimately,
Wait, this is the Diamondbacks?
Diamondbacks, yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm taking.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking third at plus 300.
Yeah, I was about to say yes. Give me Diamondbacks. Give me Diamondbacks third.
And then we have the Los Angeles Dodgers. Los Angeles Dodgers, their best odds is first at -110, second +170, third +500, fourth +2,000, fifth +15,000. I will take second at +170, and that's pretty awesome that I can get that at plus money.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I agree.
-110 to be first. I think the Padres win this division this year. And if they don't, they're never winning this division.
This is the year for them to win the division. That is for sure.
That is without a shadow of a doubt. So that actually wraps up our NLS coverage. Largely the same for division winners at San Diego +140. Nick and I had the same division finishing position. I believe Eric had just a slight change. He flip-flopped Arizona and San Francisco. And he also did that for his division straight trifecta as well. All three of us have two teams coming out to make the playoffs. That would be none other than the Padres and the Dodgers. And that wraps up our NL West divisional breakdown. Do you guys have anything else for the 10s and 10s?
Another for me.
All good.
All right. With that being said, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Podcast Room303. I've been your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This has been my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us the EPE. We'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.